It's amazing the things that you find in the forest, like this old cast iron sink. Today we're gonna renovate this heavy cast iron sink and bring it back to good use. So being a farm, we felt like we need a outdoor sink, something where we at least can wash our hands. Let's see, the first challenge I do see is how we're gonna hang it. I like the idea of it being freestanding. It looks like there maybe been maybe some kind of legs in here. 2 of them. It has these little lips here. It looks like maybe that was for hanging. And then of course the 2 holes for the faucet. Also, this thing is really heavy, so it's got to be sturdy enough where it's not going to fall and break some toes. Okay, I know I have scrap wood in here somewhere. Maybe this piece will work. So we're gonna do a 45-degree angle. Use a push stick. Always try to use a push stick, all right? I'd rather this saw cut this push stick than my hand. This is a 2x6. It's easier to, a wider board doing this is better. So I'm making something called a French cleat. Oui, 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 oui. I'm gonna use this 4-inch hole saw bit. Okay, so there's your French cleat. There's a 45-degree angle on there, just a simple, made out of 2x6. We put some screws in here. I want to mount this sink about there. Something where it's not too high for little kids and not too low. We're actually going to mount it to the wall, against the wall that way. So that way we're going to hang the sink right on top of this. So I'm going to reinforce this a little bit. I'm gonna use some structural screws better, just a little bit more beefier, just in case. Now this should make it really strong. I'm trying to use what I have. I have to dip into the Land General store, and for some reason I have a lot of this black poly pipe. This is a 1/2-inch pipe. Hopefully it's big enough. We're also going to use this old hose that I ran over with my lawnmower last year, and I cut it off and I kept what was good. So this needs an end. Luckily the general store had all this. That's an essential part, is having a bunch of hose connectors just in case you run it over with the lawnmower. These are just parts that I've just collected over the years. I'm trying not to go super fancy on this. So this is the faucet I'm going to use. It has this little flimsy, kind of like a, it's just for looks. But I'm going to add a washer to the back of it. And then it's really just piecing together all these little parts. So that way it's sturdy in the back of this. So that's going to pop in there. And then we're going to take this piece and screw it on in the back, so that way it's going to kind of smash everything together to make this really tight. And then now the other piece, this is going to connect the hose to that. Alright, so we're hanging this by these, they're kind of like little metal hooks right here. And that French cleat's going right inside there. From the inside, we're gonna do this little leader hose. And then this elbow. I know, it's such a confusing puzzle, but sometimes you just got to use what you got. All right, so this side, that's one end. That's going to the hose or the faucet, the hydrant. And then you got this side. They're both hose ends. So technically, if I had a long enough hose, I could just hook those two up together. It goes all the way around inside. I'm gonna need a hose end on this black poly pipe. We're gonna heat it up. Alright, I think that does the trick. Softens up the plastic a little bit. Then we're going to attach the other end, it's another hose end, to the other end of the black poly pipe. I'm basically making my own hose using this black poly pipe. That's all I'm doing. But yeah, it'd be a lot easier if you just got those. But save me a trip anyways. Plus, I have the stuff. There's nothing more satisfying than making something, building something with just stuff you already had and don't have to go anywhere. Okay, we got the hose end here attached to the sink part. That goes down, goes in around, attaches to the other hose that is attached to the hydrant. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see if there's any leaks. Let's go over here. Yeah, look at that flow. That's a work of art, man. Look at that. Man, that's some good flow here. That's some good pressure. Let's see if there's any leaks over here. Any leaks? I don't see any leaks. I think we're good here, guys. That's awesome. Okay, so we can't leave it like this. It looks like a urinal. It's not a urinal. So let's see if we could try to clean it up a little bit. That was dish soap, and that looks a little bit better. We're gonna try some of this Barkeeper's Friend stuff. We have some powder, and we have a little bit of this. So satisfying. To me, it looks like this whole sink has been painted. You see brush marks all over this, and this is starting to come off. I suppose I could take that paint off some way, but for what I need this for, it's just going to be outside here washing hands. I think we're good. But that looks 10 times better. It looks a lot cleaner. So we're going to need a spot for the soap. Scrap piece of cedar angle bracket. Okay. Barn soap goes right there. Now you could always put a bucket down here, catch some of that water, or you can put a hose, attach a hose down there and let it take it out, so that way there's no water piling up here and you don't have to empty a bucket. And if I had it, I would have hooked it up, but a portable hot water heater, propane, if you have one of those, you could hook that up. I would probably put another hot water part over here, and then that will have cold and hot. Maybe one day when I get one, I'll install it on this. I put a spacer in the back here because it looked like it was sagging a little bit. So that brings it out, makes it more level. But hanging on this thing, I mean, it's strong. That French cleat is what did the trick. And I don't have to put legs on this, which I thought I would have, but I think it's good as is. I was able to salvage, how convenient that this sink came with one of these drain pipes. I don't have a rubber hose big enough. I just slip that through that, maybe throw a zip tie on it and call it a day, but you know. And we'll cement this end. All right, we're getting close. We need a connector there. I know, it's so complicated. And then a hose. There we go. We got it, guys. That's what makes it fun, right? This is like an art project here. This little adapter is gonna pop in there that it came with. All right, we got a little leak there, but it's some drips, but there's the water going out. You know, we could put that in a bucket, leave it out like that, but at least it's not too bad of a puddle here. This has been on my list for 2 years, putting in one of these, so we got it done, finally. Could check that off the list, and now we have somewhere to wash our hands. I don't expect us to use this very often, mainly when we have workshops here, or when we're really maybe butchering chickens. You know, it's just hard to, you know, hold the hose and wash your hands. Here you can do it pretty much with one hand. So yeah, you could do this with anything. You don't have to have a cast iron sink to do it. You know, if you have a spare sink on hand, you can make your own. Really simple, just hoses and some bunch of connectors.